The Make Believe Seattle Film Festival kicks off this week, and it features many films designed to get our imaginations flowing. Here to discuss them is Timofey Pozhikov. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to just jump right into some of the different films that we're showing, and then I'm going to talk to you about like the spirit and the heart behind this film festival. But let's get started with Sher and Lambchop. This is the opening night of the film festival, right?
Correct. It's the opening night of the film festival. We are very fortunate to have Lisa DiPolito, the director who's Emmy nominated, in attendance. Now, I didn't grow up in the States, so I wasn't familiar with Sherry Lewis. And this film just brought so much joy, and I was so fortunate to learn about it. It tells us about the American ventriloquist, for those who aren't familiar at home, and one of the most prolific sock puppets, Lambchop.
Yeah.
It's super heartwarming. If you're younger and unfamiliar with who Sherry Lewis is, this is a great opportunity to familiarize yourself with her work and just learn about what a fascinating human being she was.
You know what? You almost forget about these people that made such a mark on our culture, but I'm glad that we are looking back. Let's look at this one now. This is bonus track. It's the centerpiece screening of the film festival, right?
Yeah, it's a centerpiece screening of the festival. It's also the Pacific Northwest premiere of the film. It's coming from the minds of Josh O'Connor, who you might know from The Crown. He's one of the producers, writers, and is a supporting actor in this film. It follows a coming-of-age love story between a 16-year-old musically inclined boy and the son of a world-famous rock band player. It's just a super sweet, tender film for those viewers who love Heartstopper, but also feel like Heartstopper could have used a little bit more music. This is right up your alley. I think it's one of the most touching and tender films from the festival. It really reminds you of the really soft butterfly feelings you get when you experience your first love.
Oh, I love this. It's a romantic comedy.
It's
all
sweet.
The things.
Yes.
All right, what about Lost Souls?
Lost Souls was one of the greatest surprises for me from director Catherine Proper, first-time debut filmmaker from Texas, following an odyssey of a young man who's leaving his small town in Texas to follow his dreams of becoming a world-renowned rapper. I think one of the really cool things about Lost Souls is that it completely subverts the genre of a road movie by infusing it with an unexpectedly lo-fi soundtrack that, I'm not going to lie, has been on my mind ever since we saw the film. And that was one of the big discussing points in programming, how it gets so stuck in your mind you wish that the soundtrack was available on streaming services.
And it's not? We gotta make it happen.
I know, we gotta make it happen.
Well, really, truly, the music can be the biggest part of a film, and it really can bring it to a map. So I cannot wait to, now you've teased us, we all must go see Lost Souls. Queen of the Deuce.
Oh, Queen of the Deuce touches on one of my favorite types of films, coming from the amazing mind of Valerie Kontakos, who makes this really interesting mid-length documentary. Now, I love documentaries that don't focus on large profiles or events, but rather on small town or even large city, small town icons. And this one follows Shelley Wilson. What a character, so much chutzpah. She was a Jewish grandma who celebrated Christmas, a lesbian who married men, and also ran a ring of porn theaters in 1970s New York. It is just one of the most fascinating films and such an interesting profile that features a lot of archival footage and interviews with people who knew her and her family. And I honestly had such a great time watching it because these aren't the people you're going to read about in textbooks.
No.
These are the people that only exist as legends through word of mouth. And films like this do such incredible justice to highlighting the importance of the people like this in towns.
This is phenomenal. I cannot wait to see this film. I mean, everything you said, I'm like, what? Yes, I'm in. Something Wicked This Way Comes. This screening is pay what you can, and it's a great family option, right?
It's a great family option. It's one of our only, if not our only, retrospective screening. It comes from a very specific time of the 1970s and 80s when Disney was dabbling in darker themes, to expand to a more mature young adult audience. It's based on a Ray Bradbury novel, and it's about a father who's trying to save his son and his son's friend from a carnival where something seems a little bit off. This is a really great introduction for parents who want to expose their kids to more fantasy, horror, genre filmmaking. But don't quite want to, get them to see Insidious or something a little bit too R-rated.
Interesting. This is a Disney film.
Disney film. It's a very specific timepiece because they dabbled in that and never really touched it ever again.
Okay, that's interesting. Have you ever seen Watcher in the Woods?
No, I haven't.
That's a Disney film. Watch that. It gives me the creepers too.
Oh, is it from the same era?
It is. It's from the late 70s, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that later. But I just got to ask, how can people see the film festival?
So if you want to learn more about the film festival, check out our socials, Make Believe Seattle. and it's playing starting Thursday and all the way through Monday, and there's a lot of great films besides the one I've mentioned. You guys should check out the schedule and see what appeals to you and what's interesting, and it's going to be a great time.
Timofey, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. You're so knowledgeable about all these films and have really gotten us so excited to see the Make Believe Film Festival, which once again, just a reminder, the film festival runs through March 21st through the 26th at all the locations you see on your screen right there. Okay? Go check it out.